Hey guys, so last night we got the truck all finished up. We got the axle under it and everything together. So today what I'm gonna do is pull the rotors off. I gotta take them to go get cut. Once that's done, I will come back. We're gonna do pads. Once we get pads and the caliper done on the backside, we're gonna go ahead and bleed all the brakes. It's pretty windy today, so we're gonna have some wind noise, so probably be doing a little bit more time lapse. But we'll get started and I'll take you guys along with it. Left on the back here is I got to build the brake line from that junction point there, because that's where the brake line comes down from the frame, and then I got to hook it up to this brake line here. So we'll go ahead and hook up the one from the frame, and then I'll be able to take measurements for my new brake line. So we got the brakes done on both sides. We got the brake line made for the driver's side. Everything's good back here. I just went and picked up the front rotors. I had them cut at O'Reilly's. We're gonna get the front brakes together, and as soon as I'm done with that, we're gonna start bleeding. I'm gonna fill up the reservoir, and we'll just start using a vacuum bleeder and pulling it through. I also had to buy a new drag link because I couldn't find a castle nut for it. And it also didn't have a boot on it, so it was full of dirt. So figured might as well buy a new one and start off with something clean and new. So now we're going to go ahead and pull the center bolt that holds that plate on. So this is the bottom plate for that shock. We're going to go ahead and grab our spacer and our long bolt and some red Loctite. So now that we got everything we need, we're going to take this 3-inch block that goes here goes here on top of this plate. Now we're going to make sure that the bolt runs through, because the tapered end goes down so it'll clear the knuckle. There we go. So that'll run through. And it looks like the right thread as well. So we're going to set that there. Get some red Loctite. And I'm just going to do a couple threads right here at the end. Put our bottom plate back in, line them all up. Get it ready to bolt down. Now that is our 3-inch spacer. Don't look all that secure, but we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna just hit it with the brake bar, give it a little ugga-dugga. We're good there. Now what I don't know is if this axle is drooped enough now to get the spring back in. So I'll try to get the spring in first, and if not, I'm gonna have to place the jack in another spot so we can redo that. Flat on the ground. So hopefully we don't need much more. So that's a little tight. Hopefully we'll be able to get it back up. But let's see. There we go. There we go. All right, it's in. Now I got to get all that pressure off the brake line. Alright, so what we're going to have to do with this one is, because the way these are stamped, they're stamped steel, they have a rounded corner, and as you can see in these, they have a very square corner. So what I had to do on the passenger side is just take the grinder, and we're just going to bevel both corners at a 45 so it fits perfectly in that groove, and then we'll be able to bolt it right up. So now what we got here is 2 beveled edges. Let's go install it on the truck. So for this, it'll slide right in now, all the way to the base. We use the stock bolt and the stock wing nut that goes on the inside. Now I gotta line this up from the back so it can start. Now that we're started, go ahead and hit it with the impact. Now that we got the shock bolted in, we're gonna go ahead and jack up the truck, stick it on the 35's, and see how they look. Hopefully the truck is level. All right, guys, the blocks are in, wheels are on. I did notice I have to get an extended track bar because we're pulling the wheel out real far on the driver's side. Let's show you guys what it looks like with 3-inch level. So, it might be up ½ an inch in the front. So, I don't know if it looks squatted because it's, I don't know, in the driveway. But the front springs haven't settled yet. And I'm only seeing about a ½ inch difference. And it should settle that much. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get the tape measure on the wheel wells and we'll compare. We got 10 3/4 right here. Hopefully we're the same in the back. We got 10 1/2 in the back. So we're up a 1/4 inch in the front. And that's enough that it'll settle. Especially when we get that track bar in there, center of the axle, and everything's gonna sit where it wants to be. So I think that's good where we're at there. I'm gonna go ahead and get the sway bar bolted back up, look at price of a track bar, and then maybe if I have time, I'll show you guys what I have to do with the steering and the brake booster.